Buck, we heard those loud booms, a little bit of delay, more booms, and then obviously the thing just came tumbling down. We were expecting a pretty big smoke cloud. In fact, we'd been preparing for it, had a number of respirator masks as well as a hard hat and some goggles. But really, the smoke seemed to go over the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and not come towards us. Good news for us, not necessarily good news for the folks over in that stretch of the area. Hopefully no damage obviously done to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They did a lot of preparation to make sure that it was safe. That stadium only some 30 yards away from the Georgia Dome, and what they did was they put up some curtains made of something called geofabric. It was supposed to catch all that dust and debris to protect the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They also had left the shell of the dome up over there, hoping that that would also prevent any damage. So obviously we're going to have to wait and see if there was any. The idea was that there wasn't supposed to be, and at this point just a little bit of excitement down here, but it was no dust like we thought we were going to get, and personally we're a little happy about that. I got to be honest with you. Back to you.
All right, Mark, thanks a lot. Let's take another look. I'm going to step out of the way. You cannot even see Mercedes-Benz Stadium now as the dust and the debris from the implosion of the dome is working its way that direction. Literally, I can barely see, just see a little bit of the top of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Looks like things went off as expected. No troubles, no problems. Here's what I wouldn't want to do. I wouldn't want to be the person in charge of cleaning the windows at Mercedes-Benz Stadium today, because they're going to be busy getting this thing ready for upcoming games. Now let's check in back on street level with Fox 5's Caitlin Pratt. Caitlin, what's happening down there?
Hey Buck, okay, exciting times here. I'm going to step out of the way. You can see from our vantage point that cloud of dust, and we've been getting updates just like you have, Buck, alerts, and at that minute we heard one long horn. We knew we had a minute to go until implosion. This is where so many people gathered along Ivan Allen Boulevard to watch the blast. Also dignitaries on a platform here along the street gathering here as well. It's also where emergency officials are going to come and brief us shortly to tell us exactly how this all happened, if it went according to plan, if it went according to all the planning that they've been doing for months and months and months. I have to tell you, though, there was a moment where a MARTA bus pulled up right in front of all of our cameras, and it was like a visible, oh man, what are you doing? Keep it moving. But we were able to see it, and the bus kept going through. There was a round of applause here from the ground, and you can see right now live people still sticking around to take a look and see what's left after all that dust settles. So we're going to keep monitoring the situation here and wait to see if we can get briefed by those officials who are going to be making their way from the demo site here to tell us if this did go according to their plan. It's latest here live. I'm Caitlin Pratt. Back to you, Buck.
All right, Caitlin, thanks a lot. And we're curious up here as we look at what's left of the Georgia Dome right now. It does appear there's a section, I don't know if that was by design, but it appears there is a section of the upper part that's still intact, at least somewhat intact. So we look forward to hearing from the officials about that, if that was by design or if that's something that's going to have to be taken care of as well, or how they're going to handle that situation. We're going to now take a look, in case you missed it, or even if you didn't, you just want to see it again, let's take another look at what happened literally just a few moments ago. It was the end of the era of the Georgia Dome, a couple of blasts, and then it came tumbling down. And the dust from the dome, really, I think the wind is what's carrying it the direction that it is, but it carried it right over Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And as we look at it now, live, you can still barely even see Mercedes-Benz Stadium because of all the dust in the air. But it seems like, for the most part, everything went according to plan. As we mentioned, we're still going to try to ask about that one section that appears to be, it is still up. I don't know if this was something that was by design or if that was something that didn't quite go exactly as planned. So the future of this side, they're going to be calling it Home Depot Backyard. It's going to be athletic fields, it's going to be parking, hotels, playgrounds, an area that they hope will be a very family-friendly area, a place where people will gather for events, for football games, for other events that will be happening at the Georgia World Congress Center and, of course, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The dust is starting to clear just a little bit. You can start to kind of see the outline of Mercedes-Benz Stadium once again coming a little more clear this morning. We've been out here all morning taking a look at this, and from our vantage point, and now we're going to check back in at another vantage point just behind us. Although I got to say, Paul Milliken, it's warming up a little out here now. I'm okay to be outside right now. How's it going up there at the Sundial Restaurant?
It's going well. It's nice and warm in here, and I did get a Twitter message from somebody who said that Buck sure is whining a lot this morning. But you know what? You had a good spot to watch the implosion. So did we, 723 feet above the city. And this is really amazing to watch the dust cloud right now. And you can certainly see the direction that the wind is moving as it pushes it away from what used to be the Georgia Dome. And I have to tell you, what a cool experience to be up here in the Sundial, because, boy, we felt the vibrations. I'm sure you did too, Buck, on top of the building where you are. But, boy, you could really feel it here in the Sundial. And people cheered and they clapped and they screamed as it suddenly came down. And it was really quick, as everybody at home could see live on Good Day Atlanta. It happened fast. And now we're watching that dust cloud slowly move away. It is really a neat vantage point. Again, we're 723 feet high above the city in the Sundial Restaurant Bar and View. By the way, I mentioned earlier, this is the 5th tallest building in Atlanta, and it's also the tallest hotel in the entire Southeast. And what the Sundial did was decided to open up for a viewing party. So for $50, people could come in here, get some coffee, get some drinks, get some pastries, and watch this historic moment for the Atlanta skyline. And boy, it is really incredible. And Blaze, if you would, real quick, it may be tough, and I don't know if the colors will look okay, but can you just show the crowd really quickly? There are still people crowded up here in the viewing pods who just watched history, who watched the Atlanta skyline change. As I mentioned, people were cheering, they were excited. There were a lot of kids up here and a lot of cameras too. You can probably tell a lot of folks, especially down on the lower level, set up their tripods, had their cameras set up to watch this really amazing thing. And standing here when it happened, I tell you again, it was so neat to feel the vibrations. I mean, you could really feel the vibrations. You could hear the booms go off, and then of course we saw it all go down in a big cloud of dust, and now that cloud is trailing far off into the sky. So again, here with 240 of my closest friends watching the implosion of the Georgia Dome at the Georgia Dome viewing party up here in the Sundial Restaurant Bar and View. It's going to stay open for a little while longer here, so people are going to continue to get some drinks, get some coffee. I hear a rumor they're serving Bloody Marys and mimosas. I haven't seen any yet, and I definitely haven't had any yet, but I hear they're serving those. Pastries up here as well. And again, just a really good time. You know, a short while ago when we were live, I was interviewing a gentleman who was there for the very first game inside the Georgia Dome more than 20 years ago. So many memories, and we all have them, Buck. Of course, I have a lot of memories too, just over the past 6 years of all the Supercross events and the Monster Jam events with all the dirt in there, and that was so much fun. And of course, for the Chick-fil-A game, a couple of times they would take us way up into the rafters and we'd get to look down. So a lot of good memories inside the Georgia Dome, and many more to be made at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So again, a great vantage point up here. We did get a lot of video from our cameras. We had 3 going up here in the Sundial. We're sending all that video back now. You'll see that here on Good Day Atlanta, and of course I'll put it out on my social media pages too. Twitter, Paul from Fox 5, and my Facebook page, Paul Milliken Fox 5.